For the cameras right there. Anyone for citizen participation?
Hello, everybody. I don't know quite a few of you. I haven't attended the city council meeting in probably 15 years. My name is Thomas Martin. I'm a property owner in Lahaina. I reside in Rocky Ford. I'm here to address the issue of the vacant property zoning. I just have a couple questions for the city of Lahaina to clarify. So I own properties in Lahaina. I'm a landlord, also a real estate owner. The vacant building is defined by significantly below standard usage. So my question to you is, I have Airbnbs all over the United States. Am I going to be flagged because my property is an Airbnb and it sits idle for some times and my utility usage is low? It doesn't seem fair. I'm providing service to the citizens of Lahaina and also people coming here to stay here. Am I going to be subject to that also? My other second question is about the commercial buildings. It seems like the Bradish area over there seems to be kind of a hot subject with you guys with these vacancy building letters come in the mail. I mean, I'm here. I haven't talked to Martinez Glass, but I know that he uses the building. But he's there. I see him there quite often. It doesn't seem fair to me that he has to be, as a business owner, pay a dormancy fee. He provides a service to many of you and many of your vehicles in the city of Lahaina. So why should he be published or punished? The other thing that I see is, I'll let you know, I used to own 3 churches in this town. I owned one on 3rd Street, right across, or 2nd, I believe it was, right across the street from the Sheriff's Department. I owned one on 8th and Smithland. I owned one on 3rd and Maple. I wasn't trying to bring these churches back up to be churches. But in turn, I beat my head against the wall trying to get the city of Lahaina to help me. It was nothing but an issue. I paid a dormancy fee on these things forever. Now look at what happened to them when I sold them. Look at that church that I sold across the street from the Sheriff's Department, how much of disarray it is. Back on the tax roll. Not doing anything. Blighted, broken windows. The church in 8th and, I believe it's 8th and Smithland, same way. Blighted, vacant, not being used. The only church that I sold was in 3rd and Maple. Do we not need churches in the city of Lahaina? Do we not need nonprofits? I tried to work with the city worked with me. I sold the property. Now look at where it's become. So my question to you is, finally, if you make these owners move out of the city and move out to the industrial fairgrounds, are their buildings going to go up for sale? Are they going to sit vacant? Are they going to become blighted? Maybe on the tax roll. What is your plan? You have to develop a plan. Every city needs a plan. Every city has a blighted building. I don't care what city you are. You're going to find blighted buildings. There's other ways to deal with it. It's called citizen participation. Work with the citizens. Hear the citizens. Help the business owners out. Don't send them letters in the mail. Try to work with those. Putting them out there at the industrial park makes it quite hard for the people that, like Martinez Glass, you want to drive all the way out to get a piece of glass from industrial park. By the way, who owns the industrial park? That's my question. Whose warehouses are they? Are they owned by the city? Are you putting them out there to further the amount of funds that the city requests? My question, I have lots of questions, but I need lots of answers. So maybe you can think on what I said, and maybe next city council meeting, we can have some answers. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Gary Reed. I think most of you probably know me, but for those of you who don't, I reside at 18975 State Highway 2 in Rocky Ford, and I just kind of want to touch on a little bit on what Tom already said, because he did a pretty good job of saying it. I'm not sure where the city gets the attitude that they can tell, especially in residential landowners, what they can do with their property. As long as that property is looking good, it's maintained, whether or not it has utilities or not, I would like to see it have utilities, but whether or not it has utilities, as long as that thing's not an eyesore, how does the city make that decision that they can tell that landowner what to do with that? Rocky Ford, that guy thinks he can tell the landowners that if that place is empty and can be rented, it needs to be rented. But yet, as a landlord, we get no help from the cities, either Lahaina or Rocky Ford. That's the same thing. I mean, we send tenants down that may be good tenants. They don't get any help with deposits, nothing like that. They have to pay, full high price deposit, and I get it. Dealing with tenants is kind of tough. I do have properties in town, that's why I'm here, and my business plan does not allow me to leave the property empty. So none of my properties are empty, but I do feel for anybody else in here that does have a property that's empty, that, how can you tell them how to handle their properties when, especially when the city of Ohana has a lot of dilapidated properties laying around? And where do you start? Start at home. Clean your own house before you start cleaning everybody else's. And the next thing is the same with commercial property. Morgan & Sons has been in business in that building for what, 25, 30 years? I don't even know. It's been a long time. It's been the same thing. When I was a kid, that was a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola warehouse. Coca-Cola bottling warehouse. It's a warehouse. What do you do in a warehouse? You store stuff. It just happened to be Coca-Cola back then. So what's the difference between what he's using it for now? He's using it for his windows. It's an active business in town. You know, same with the Hunter Trading Company. They got a letter saying they can't use their, because it's against code or zoning, they can't use their building they have for storing stuff in their place. So I guess we dumped hundreds of thousands of dollars into the new company that just went in out west of town. And it seems like we're trying to drive the companies that's been here forever. I think Atlanta Trading Company is over 100 years. We're trying to drive these guys out. So that's the kind of feeling I get. We bring in competition for these guys, and then maybe when the competition isn't working out so well, then let's see if we can't go ahead and stick another knife in them and drive them a little farther. My next thing is the etiquette on the board, on this council, especially at the last few meetings. The guy was here talking about speed cameras, and I'm not sure who the patrolman is, the retired patrolman. Had some very good questions, shoved under the rug, nothing was answered. Maureen Rickoff, at the last council meeting, same thing. It was shoved under the board, under the rug, when she had very valid questions. And yet, all she was told was, we need to vote for it. We need to vote for it. No, if there's any questions with any council member, you don't vote until everybody has all the information they need to make a good decision. And last but not least, I watched that community, or what was that, the last meeting you guys had last week? The Planning Commission. And I am very disappointed, Joe and you especially, that, and I think he's here somewhere. Maureen had some very good questions relating to this, and it was all pushed under the board. She didn't, nothing was answered. I mean, I was on Zoom, I wasn't in here personally, but it seemed to me like you guys were discounting her. For what reason, I have no idea. I don't know how many of you guys are rental property owners, and I know she is. She has some very good questions, and they were not addressed at all. So that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, by the way, at the radio station, and anybody else wants to come on. So,
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Angela Martinez. 722 Raton is my current residence. I'm attempting to move myself and my father to his other property. The biggest issue I have is I feel like I'm continuously harassed, continuously in violation of some silly thing. Weeds do what they do, they grow. This is a weed-prone area, just like any plant. If you throw seeds down, it's gonna grow where it's gonna thrive. And yes, they need to be cut, I agree. I completely agree with that, but I opened this today, and my dad presented me with this on one of his properties. We've been grieving the past 6 years. Every year we've had a loss. I don't know if any of you have dealt with loss, but it's not easy. It's not easy at all. There's lots of things you've got to plan, you've got to figure out a state, you've got to figure out what you're going to do with vehicles, you've got to figure out what you're doing with properties. Here I am by myself, my dad's disabled, I feel like he's being a target for these properties. I get a violation on a winter day from code enforcement saying, oh, we need you to pick this area up, vehicles, debris, whatever, 7 days. Look at the size of my property. 7 days. 7 days for this, guys. See that? It's 7.5 times the size of a regular average property in the vicinity, and I get a 7-day notice. Mind you, it was like 15 degrees that day. It was February, it was snowing. I don't think that that was, I have a lot of issues with that. A lot of issues with that. I since have tried my best to maintain and clean up the area. I've gotten tags and registrations. I've auctioned vehicles. I've done all of the things to try to appease all the silly ordinances and all of the made-up rules that, you know, try to keep the governing process, you know, in place. But ultimately, it's like, I feel like I am running in an uphill battle constantly. I've been trying. The minute I try to do something, I get something like this in the mail. I am one person, one person. A small army would have a hard time dealing with all the properties and vehicles that I have to deal with. And all I'm asking for is some time, and I mean, I should get due process, right? That's part of it. And it should be fair due process. 7 days is not fair with this. Let's see. As for vehicles, see, the ordinance says fitted car covers. What does it matter? Why does it have to be a fitted car cover? I don't know if any of you have bought fitted car covers. I have bought probably 20 in the past year. They deteriorate, they're weather blown, they rip apart, and then you have to go right back and buy more. I'm trying to consolidate, I'm trying to limit what my dad has, but some people have a hard time letting go of memories, have a hard time letting go of what was, and I think we are just a number in your game. Are we just, you know, paychecks, or, you know, you can give him a violation, her a violation, or you're doing this over here, doing this there, and it's like, why? For what? Talk about it. Ask what's going on. Everybody has problems. You know, my dad's disabled. I have a hard time, you know, checking on him. I have to check on my grandfather. I've got kids. My kids, thank God, I get some help from them. But they work. I work. I don't know where I'm supposed to find this time in the day to make things happen in this 7 days. Like, I got to stop everything I'm doing, and okay, I was focused on one project, but now I got this thing, and now I got to focus on a different thing. So it's a frustration, it's an irritation, and I am one person, and it's not like we're in Greenwood Village, or this is rural La Junta. We live in Cowtown, La Junta. It's like we are used to rural type stuff, not downtown Denver, you know, keeping up with that facade. But I just know...
That's time, Angela. Thank you. Anyone else for citizen participation?